Good evening, everyone. My name is Corey, and we are 20 Sides to Every Story, bringing you Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen. Our party has found themselves in a little bit of trouble, and so we're going to get into that just a second. Just as an introduction to the channel, if you haven't, and I'm sure you all have, but if it's your first time watching, 20 Sides to Every Story is an online gaming community. We primarily focus on our Discord channel, but we do have games going on here pretty much every night, or on our sister channel, which is 20 Sides Gaming, where we do more with console and video gaming. So I invite you to check out our Discord channel. You can see the what is going on these two channels during the week. But you can also get introduced to some of the things going on in the channel, in the Discord channel itself, including we're heavy into Diablo 4 at the moment. A bunch of groups constantly are forming. And pretty much every night there are people hanging out in one of our voice channels talking hot nonsense. So I invite you to check it out. So yeah. So I the party has been for the last few maybe weeks exploring an area called the Northern Wastes, an area of that has come under interest of the Dragon Army, the Red Dragon Army, who is looking for something, and most likely they are looking for a city that was lost during the cataclysm, or as the cataclysm fell, a flying city. They're looking for where it crashed. They piece this together slowly. They know the city's name largely by the City of Lost names, but they've heard a couple other plausible ideas of what it might be. Along the way, they have discovered a number of artifacts of the gods, including shrines and other pieces of very supernatural magic. And so they have been doing their best to sort of push all this information together. Most recently, during one of their first encounters in the Northern Wastes, they learned about a group of Divinity elves, sea elves, who were captured and taken prisoner to an army camp, which they decided to go after. And things were going more or less well with everything they wanted to do until a adult black dragon landed in the midst to take care of them. All of them were subjected to dragon fear. This is also the first time any of them really has seen a dragon. Gertrude is a little bit of an exception because she's somewhere between real dragon and not real dragon, so a little bit different, but definitely not an adult dragon yet. And so they were subject to the full power. In addition to them, the party themselves, they were in coordination with an army force of about allied army force of about 300, who were the ones who helped them secure this camp from the Dragon Army, and who also faced the brunt of the Black Dragon force, the Black Dragon and the Dragon Fear. So there is mass chaos going on as everyone is fleeing from this dragon, who is viciously tearing through everything in sight. In the midst of that, one of us decided to try to stand up to the dragon, despite any common sense. And rather than dying, thankfully, Quentin cast Banish on Cato, which sent him to another plane. He failed his saving throw, and it was pretty much the only thing that saved Cato from certain annihilation. But who knows what will happen in a minute when that spell wears out. So, and who knows where Cato is right now? We shall see. So we did a roll to figure out which compass direction these people uh, ran in, and it turns out they all, ever Cato excluded, they all basically ran in the same direction, which makes my job for telling the story a little bit easier. And so we are going to start with character introductions, and then we will roll straight into the story. So first up, let's start with poor Cato, since he's being hurtled through the plains as we speak.
Hi, I'm Daw. I'm playing Kato, who is a level 7 Oath of the Crown Paladin, and I won't say foolish one to stand his ground. Hey, his entire company he's with was under attack. He got hit. He hit back. I mean, kind of got to stand your ground at that point. He's trying to help out, and then that fucking wizard.
Mm-hmm.
And now
So
he's somewhere.
we'll move up to over to Miranda.
All right. So, hi, I'm Lauren. I am playing Miranda, who is a sorcerer, not that fucking wizard, but is thinking, holy crap, what just happened and what are we going to do? And it's a little bit chaotic now and worried. So, just generally.
All right. Move up to Cass.
Hello, I'm David, and I play Cass, a human rogue who was kind of just starting to put, the community first, did kind of some selfless acts, rescuing prisoners, didn't pocket, half of the money they looted afterwards, and was rewarded for the character growth by just absolute chaos and disaster, and is just running for their life, regretting a lot of decisions at the moment.
We'll move up to that fucking wizard next.
Well, I could go over that again. Yeah, sorry, I was muted. Got a little baby running around, so yeah, so I am the wizard that was mentioned by Cato. Playing Quentin, level 7 abjuration wizard. And basically Quentin struggled a bit with casting that spell, but there wasn't really time to kind of think through the repercussions of whether it was what Cato wanted or not, and so he will live with whatever the fallout of that decision is, granted that they all survive. That's Quentin.
All right. And last but certainly not least, Brala.
Hello, I'm Isaac. I'm playing Brawlin. Brawlin is a level 7 Drake Warden. He was able to keep, I'm not going to say cool, but keep his wits about him as they were attacked. And so he, I guess, is worried about the rest of the group. I think he's kind of popping his head up over the rest of the people fleeing and kind of checking out to count where his friends are. He would see first he would see Cato just kind of blip out of nowhere. He was a bit confused. He would turn to see Cass and start moving in that direction, and then see Miranda too, and then he would see that fucking wizard, his brother, Quentin as well, and he would be a bit relieved because that's kind of his lifeline and kind of has become a bit of his family, this group, and is currently worried a bit about where Cato went.
Okay. So as I mentioned, excuse me, you were lucky. I think Cass was actually the first one out. I know that Quentin was the last one out, and Bralin and Miranda somewhere in between. You were able to successfully keep eyes on each other. And Cass, as you're running, remember this place is, well, the campsite, it's the fort itself was on a more or less flat planed area. and I will move you guys off that map just temporarily. Just so where do I want to put you up here? So while the camp itself was flat and it was set up like a camp, as you get outside of the camp and start to flee this beast, who is spewing breath weapon around and just things that you have only heard of in legend. Certainly, the legendary dragon fear is something that you now have all experienced firsthand. You are running. You are keeping an eye on, we're going to say Miranda's behind you, closest behind you, just trying to lure people in. But unfortunately, you're running and you're running. You realize at a certain point you run into basically a dead end. So the area around you is maybe 70, 80 feet taller than you. And there was a makeshift camp here at some point. You'll see on the map, but I just reused a battle map. And as you run in and as the rest of you pile in, you do see coming behind you members of the Red Dragon armies who we're going to roll right into. For the four of you, we're going to roll into battle. So I'm going to switch you over to a battle map here. Oops, wait, no, I don't want to do that. Sorry. Max, the Mac wanted to move you to. And so yeah, three of the wyverns, the dragonelles as they're called in this, and three of the officers have swooped in, having watched you run across the group of you run, and you seem like easy pickings. So for the purpose of this, the officers are on the ground. The dragonelles themselves are about 30 feet up, and we're going to roll some initiative. The cliffs around you are all 70. And I can expand the map a little bit if we need to. But yeah, you guys can see the map, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm having trouble syncing up D&D Beyond. I rolled a 15 initiative.
Okay, I can add you.
Not finding the VTT. Hold on.
No worry, I can add you.
Thanks.
Turn. You said 15?
Yep.
5. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, everyone's on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah. Give 1 second to bring up some. Oh, and I'm sorry. Feel free to position yourself however you want. I just dragged you on there. So feel free however you think you would position yourself. You ran in from the east towards the west, and when you were following Cass. And so before I start, I won't move anything.
Said that we were.
And Brawlin, can I ask one favor in general for using Gertie?
Sure.
Oh, is this the wrong? Is it? No, that's the right Gertie. Is your red bubble, if you can put the altitude?
Okay, sure.
Just so mentally I at least have a picture of how far they are up. All right. So where's my measuring tool? Bralin, the Dragonel who is coming in first flies down, and is going to give you two swipes with its claws.
Okay.
The first is a 17, the second's a 22.
Both hit.
Okay. So the first is 13 slashing and 1 fire, as you realize that the claws themselves are um it's, let me see how they describe this. One second. Now it just, as it grabs into you, it lets off a little bite that has some of the fire in it.
Okay.
I'm not sure where that's coming from. So 13 and plus 1 fire on the first, and 12 plus 2 on the second.
All right.
And then it swoops up and evades as it flies back. You
Oh,
have no chance of opportunity attack.
sounds good.
The next one up is the Dragon Army officer, who is going to shoot. Let's see, I'm just going to roll randomly for him. See, I've been providing some cover. Where's my dice roll? So that's going to be you, Quentin. You are getting shot at by a Dragon Army officer who's using a heavy crossbow. A 10 is the first, and a 15 is the second.
I will cast shield.
Okay. Cass, it is your turn.
At this point, the dragon fear has worn off. We have a full
Correct.
sense
Yeah,
of-
you no longer are in sight of the dragon, which is probably one of the reasons you tried to duck out into this area.
And I was trying to get Roll20 and D&D Beyond to talk nicely. We have 2 officers, and what are the 3 giant creatures?
They're in
A dragon.
Forgotten Realms, they'd be wyverns, but here
Okay,
they're
yeah.
dragonels. They have, as far as you know of them, they have multi-attack, 2 attacks. There's this rend, which has a little bit of fire damage, a little bit of shredding damage, and then they can fly.
I'm going to move 20 feet to try to get close enough. I will do a short sword attack.
So before 30 feet up in the air.
Oh, sorry. Okay, well then we're not
Yep.
going to move forward. We're going to try.
The officers are on the ground, but they are up in there.
I think I am going to then. Sorry, my dancing long swords can go up to 30 feet away from me, so I have to be directly under it. That doesn't sound fun either. Hand crossbow. I guess I'm going to fire the hand crossbow with disadvantage.
Okay.
Which is a 6. Again, I'm still trying to get synced up with D&D Beyond. So I miss. I am going to try to run in and bonus action hide
Behind.
inside. Yeah, behind, inside this tent.
Go for it.
All right, stealth. That's a looks like a 16.
Passive perception is. Yep. So I think you've successfully hit from all of them.
Real quick, Corey, I don't think I'm on the initiative tracker. I should be after Quentin because I rolled 11, but I don't see myself there.
Okay, no problem.
And just a heads up, we got a DM reroll and a player reroll from Mr. Sith Lord Daves. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Miranda, you said 11?
Yeah, 11.
Okay, thank you. Fine. Okay. That was Cat's sister. My measure stick out here. Bralin, you're going to face a second of these Dragonelles, who's going to do the same thing. Fly up to you, do 2 Wrens, a 13 and a 12, so both miss.
Okay.
But once again, like, is so nimble, is able to evade you, so no one can get opportunity attacks on these things.
Mhm.
But it is your turn, Bralin.
All right. I think Brawlin would. We're gonna go ahead and shoot. We're gonna go for these. Do I hear? Would Brawlin hear the officers commanding these Dragonelles?
No, they seem to be acting independently,
Okay.
like intelligent enough to do so.
All right. I would okay, in that case, either way, we need to start getting rid of these things. I'm gonna go for the dragon officer. We'll start with this one up here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead and try to we're gonna do at advantage Squire Solomnia, and I'm gonna attempt to use my sharpshooter ability to hit him. All right. So -5, so 22 to hit.
That hits.
All right, so it's this damage plus 10, so 22.
Okay.
Plus an addition.
Go ahead. No, please go ahead.
Plus an additional D8.
So 27.
Uh-huh.
All right. Just solid, straight through the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear a grunt come out of him. He's still alive, but you did a ton of damage to him. Just
Okay.
there.
Second attack. Going after him without that.
Okay.
We're just gonna
Initiative.
go. Yeah, or for the no advantage, we're just gonna go straight hit. Wah. An 11 to hit.
It does not.
Okay. I think Gertie flavorfully would on her own move in between the party and these 3 Dragonelles and try to protect us, and she would be using a dodge action as she moves up.
Okay.
All right. Do you want me? Am I adding the feat, the movement of moving up as well? Correct, right? Her movement. So they're 30 feet up.
Yeah. In fact, basically, think of it this way: you can whatever her movement is, you can always add and subtract that to her altitude, ignoring the rest of her movement.
Okay, I could just make her go up and down, whatever.
Exactly. Like you could still move her left and right and up and down, like north, south, east, west, but then just pick what altitude she's gonna.
All right, we're gonna say she's at here, and she's gonna be at 25 feet, kind of directly, like eyesight, and she'll be taking the dodge action, but kind of sitting in their way.
Okay.
All
Quentin.
So, how far away are we from where I cast my banishment?
Does that come up as an issue in the spell?
I guess
No, it doesn't, right?
the issue for Quentin is, and he's probably been frantically, like, very nervously, like, talking or muttering to himself about this, but he has no idea where he sent Kato, so he's just as afraid of where he sent him to temporarily protect him, but he doesn't want to keep him there too long. If as soon as he knows that
Right.
Kato's out of threat, he would want to, like, probably cancel the spell because he's of that concern.
I would say that I would say this. You can see the black dragon. You can see it away from the camp
Okay,
where the attack happened.
so I think I
So
would
you-
drop it.
Okay. So just roll me a 1d10 then, and that's going to be the number of rounds that it took for you to get here. Does that make sense? Like, so I can, okay, perfect. So Kato is somewhere else for 4 rounds.
So, and that has nothing to do with this next thing I'm going to do, which is I'm going to cast Fireball.
Okay.
So I think I don't really know how high up are these Dragonels?
They're 30 feet up. You do know, based on, I would say from intel of the army, because the army has fought Dragonels before, that they have resistance to fire.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So that just to put that into your analysis of what.
good point. Maybe they're 30 feet up. They're all like kind of same altitude basically.
Yes, currently they're all sort of hovering at 30 feet.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I'll cast Shatter then instead.
Okay.
Which I think it is a 10-foot
Sphere. Which means you could get all 3.
Yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
So on the
So
Dragonels.
okay, so I'm gonna go top to bottom with these rolls. So it's Constitution. Top one is a 10. The middle one is a 16. And the bottom one is a 7. So the top one and the bottom one take 17, right? Okay, 17. 17, and the middle one will take 8. Does Shatter the one that pushes?
No.
Okay.
And then
Go ahead.
probably move over this way then 5. Kind of back, at an angle. I'd move like 30 feet down to the south west. I guess it'd be
Okay.
off the map, but
Okay. You are in a canyon. So you're sort of stuck in a box canyon.
okay. So,
You
there's a
can't
wall
go
back
too
here.
far. Yeah, exactly. You can't go too far back there, but you can certainly push yourself up against the wall.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll just stick there.
Okay. Miranda.
All right. So, quick question. I know
Of course.
that Cass is hidden, but can I see them?
Yes, because I don't think he actually broke line of sight with you. He
All
just
right.
broke.
Just for the okay. So, in that case, if everyone wants this, I was going to twin cast haste on Brawlin and Cass. You guys want to be hasted? You willing? Yes, yes. Okay, there you go. So
Always.
always,
Never
right?
say never say no to
say
hate.
no to haste. Yes, yes.
Need
All right.
proceed.
So let me first do that, and then all right. So
Oh yeah, that's good.
threw some haste out there, and then I don't know. I'm I'm probably just gonna hang out. Well, I might just like go into this little cavern, cover from the back,
Right.
and that's about it.
So the two of you can have +2 on your AC for cover. I'll say
Mhm.
that. You and Quentin. Oh, sorry, Miranda and Quentin, since you are sort of trying to use the wall to protect yourselves. So partial cover. Okay, so Miranda is under concentration. It's the third Dragonelle comes down and is going to go for. What did I just do? Is going to go for Gertie
right.
as a block. So Gertie is going to get 2 Rens. A 20 is the first, and a 13 is the second.
Okay, and these are at disadvantage.
Oh, they're at this. You're correct. So 12 and a 13. So both. of
Okay.
us.
Boldness.
And then does the same thing and flies back. It's now the other 2 Dragon Army officers. You hear one of them whistling to one of the Dragonelles, who seems to pay attention to. So we'll say, which one? So this officer whistled to this Dragonelle, who seems to have picked up on the thing. It's not going to stop him from shooting at someone. And so, fortunately, I think that's going to be Browlet because you're the
Okay.
cleanest. So you just get one attack by crossbow 14.
Nope.
Okay. The other officer is also going to shoot at you. 8. So lots of whiffs here. And we're going back to so this Dragonelle who was whistled flies down and like lands so that he can jump on it. 2, 1. So those 2 are attached, but there's not enough time for him to also land. So this Dragonelle and that officer are currently on the ground. This officer here is going to shoot at you, Brolin.
Okay.
Again. So that's a 16 now.
Nope.
Okay. And Cass, it is now your turn. You have 2 Dragonelles in the air, 2 officers on the ground, and a Dragonelle officer pair mounted who are on the ground currently because they didn't have enough time to in that turn.
Right. I am going to interesting. I am going to try to, from where I am hidden, throw out as a bonus action the dancing longsword
Okay.
to try to.
Did I give
hit
you
the-
something for that?
Yes. I just
Where'd it go?
uninstalled and reinstalled I'm gonna click display in VTT. Does it come through? I think I'm still struggling there. Yeah, I'm still troubleshooting that. Okay, so do you just want me to make the attack, or do you want to see the details?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find you a longsword. I thought I gave you one.
I can send you a screen capture in D&D Beyond. I just critted for a 24 to hit.
No, that's fine. I believe.
Yeah, it's not finding the VTT.
Okay.
I don't know.
What were you attacking? Sorry. And
The
with what?
The Dragonelle with the dancing longsword. So I'm
So
still over
this
here.
Dragonelle. Got
Yep.
it.
So it's
Okay.
30 feet away. My longsword just goes flying out. 24 to hit, and then damage. It's total of 6 damage for one hand, which I guess it's no hand, but 6. It says 6 damage, which doesn't make sense because it's a 1d8 plus 1 or 1d10 plus 1. So I'm not sure why it's calculating that as 6. I saw a 9 on the die when it rolled, so I guess I'm assuming it would be 9 doubled for the crit, which would be 18 plus 1.
Okay.
And then I believe I would not get sneak attack on that because it's not
It's
a
not
finesse
you.
weapon. Yeah. Okay.
Well, it wouldn't be. Oh, I don't even know how that would work. But yes, it's not a finesse weapon. So that's an easier way to go about that.
Yeah.
So
All right.
okay. So 18 points of damage.
Yes. Then I will try the hand crossbow because it's within range as my main action. That misses. That's just a 9 to hit.
Excuse me.
And let's see. Haste gives me
Just another attack.
another attack as well. So I will, I guess, try another hand crossbow just to give it another chance. That is a nat 1. The gods are saying stop trying to use that stupid crossbow. And then I am going to, since it obviously knows where I am, I'm going to try to get far away as I can, which
Okay.
isn't very far.
You also
Okay.
hasted.
Yeah, I had I had 2 attacks, and then my bonus action. So, but I can't
Right.
really use the extra movement anyway. There's nowhere to go.
Okay. So this Dragonelle is going to go for Gertie again. Gertie is still dodged, right?
Yes.
So turn it. Okay. So 2 Rens. The first is 12.
Misses.
And the second is an 11. So
Misses.
flies back up, looking more and more angry. Rollins, it's your turn.
Brawlin is going to. Oh, Gertie, so brave. I'll be with you in a second. Brawlin will go here.
Okay.
Here we go.
What are you doing? Sharpshooter advantage.
We're gonna do a regular shot.
Okay.
Yeah, regular shot. Here we go.
Hits.
8 points of damage.
Anything added to that?
We are going to say that Gertie is going to use a reaction to give me a little bit of boost.
Okay.
Give me an additional 1d6 acid damage on top of that.
Okay. Does Gertie have to be somewhere nearby to do that?
Nearby me.
Got it. Okay.
Gertie has
that's
to
fine.
be. Okay, 30 feet of the weapon that is being
Perfect.
used.
Okay.
Okay, second attack. Uh, 19 to hit.
That hits. That is their armor class. So
That would be 12 points.
12. Yep. It's 12. All right. He's still up, looking terrible with multiple arrows through him.
Well, he's hopefully gets one more because I am hasted. Here we go. 24 to hit, and
That
the
hits.
damage is 6 points of damage.
Okay. Still up, but even more terrible than before.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Anything else, problem?
Gertie will. I think Gertie will move here and dodge again.
Okay. Quentin.
So these like army officers, these are just like humans, flammable humans, right?
Correct. They are not in any way like draconians.
Yeah, I changed my mind. I want to burn something.
Okay.
And so let's see, what, 20-foot radius, so I'm not sure without a template. I for sure could get the 3 officers and the guy on the ground, so I guess that's where I'm going with that.
So can you see my arrow or no?
Yeah. Yep.
Right around there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you got 29. So I'm gonna do officers first, top to bottom. First officer. How am I doing this? I have easier ways to do this. First officer is save Dex submit. 14 dead. Second officer 24 succeeds, so that's 14. Okay. Third officer 7 fails, so that's 29. Dragonell 11 fails, so but resistant, so 14. That was not the. I don't remember what number it was. Quentin, what else would you like to do?
Let's see. This Dragonel on the ground, that's what, like, Cass was attacking that, Brolin, you were attacking that also? I've got so much charcoal, I might as well put my familiar in harm's way. And we will give the help action to Brolin.
Okay.
Oh.
Or,
Your bluebird. Oh.
Well, I'm thinking about that. Because Cass needs a way to get sneak attack. I was thinking Brolin because of your sharpshooter, but maybe it makes more sense for it to be Cass. We'll do Cass, I guess. Do I have anything I can use bonus action on? I don't think so. So that's it for me.
All right. Let's see. Miranda, it is you.
All right. Well, I was going to shoot a lightning bolt over that way, but poor little bluebird would just get, zapped and annihilated instantaneously if I did that. So I think instead I'll shoot a chaos bolt over at this guy over here at the bottom.
Where
The dragon elf. Oh, sorry. Can select.
Quentin, where is the bluebird? I dragged him on here.
Yeah, I mean, like, over here.
Okay. Can you move him or no?
I can't move it, no.
Got it. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize you couldn't move on.
I mean, depending on how you're going to cast that lightning bolt, the bluebird
It's-
should probably
as long
be
as-
okay.
As long as he's 5 feet away, if he's 5 feet away from where my lightning bolt is like aimed at, then he'll be okay. So
You-
if I move
you should
over
be
a
able
little
to
bit
move.
this way, I should be able to. Yeah, I think if I cast it like directly, like diagonally, like this, at this guy, and then this one, this army. Hold on, these two guys. All right, we'll do that. 2.
All right. So who's sorry? Who it's
They-
hitting?
The Dragonelle, and then this army
it.
officer.
Okay. So
And maybe
dexterity
this-
saving.
Let's see.
If you move more, that you might be on the northern side of them, you might be able to
Like,
shoot it
get all
down
three
and
of
get
those
all 3 of
guys?
them.
Yeah, I think I can get all 3 of them if I move just right for it.
Do it.
All right, let's see. Like right here, can I get all 3? Let's see.
I'll give it to you.
Okay. All right, yes.
All right, top and bottom. So I'll do dragon officers first. Sorry, I'm not sure to stick on. Save, stick 30, saving throws. Let's go here. Ooh. Dexterity. 23 for the first dragon officer. So he takes 11. Right, 11, yep. Second dragon officer. 19. He takes 23. Now the Dragonelle. Oops, who's the one? Dragonelle. Save. Dexterity. Submit. 17. So he takes 11. This Dragonelle is dead. He is now on top of the corpse. He's not mounted, which is very good for everyone. Miranda, anything else?
So
Oh boy. There are a lot of player rerolls
There are 3.
coming through the chat, and that seems unfair.
I love it.
So, all right, Miranda, anything else? No.
no, that's it.
Okay, Dragonelle. It's this guy. He's coming for you, Brown.
Oh.
2 Wrens. The first is a 12. The second's a 22.
Oh, that'll do it. Ow.
14 slashing plus 5 fire.
Ouch.
He flies over here. He is above you, Miranda. Or more or less
Oh
above you.
no.
In the air, 30 feet up. This dragon officer, the one who was trying to command them, whistles over to this Dragonelle now, who nods, but does take the opportunity to. He sees 3 of you, so I'm going to do roll 1d3, starting from left to right. Goes for you, Brellan.
Oh.
He's taking a heavy crossbow at you, 17.
It would, but I'm able to move out of the way with haste.
Right. And then the same thing, the second one, 3 goes to Miranda. So
Uh-oh.
he is on to that. You might have cast a spell, Miranda.
Oh, no.
15.
That should miss with my. Oh wait, 15 is exactly. Well, do I still have coverage at all with this little like, cliff thing behind me?
You
Or since I
don't
came-
because
I don't. Okay.
you
Then
didn't go to the back.
Yeah, that
Right.
will hit then.
So you're going to take 16 12 piercing, 4 fire, so 16 damage.
Okay.
So you need to roll your concentration check.
Oof. Okay.
Hold 1 second.
All right.
I'm trying to. I can't. 5 might be just.
Thank you for the DM reroll.
I just need to check the range on my ability.
Galaxy.
Okay.
Shoot.
I'll
No.
just point out that even though I'm in a
I can't.
different location, Sophie is still on the bed. So you guys are more or less safe. Okay, you can't
I don't
absorb some of the damage.
think so.
Yeah,
I'm
I
guessing
can
that
do-
means 30. I don't know this.
I have a shield reaction. Can I do my shield reaction?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm going to.
Oh wait, shield's not concentration, right?
No, it's not. Yeah, I'm going to shield then to hold concentration.
Okay. Great. Okay, so those were the 2 officers. Cass, it is your turn.
Sorry, I was still doing some extension troubleshooting. Did you maintain concentration? Am I still hasted?
Yeah, because I shielded, so you're good.
Thank you. That would have been rough. Okay, so there's a bluebird somewhere trying to help me.
This one, you'd have advantage on this one. Or no,
All
is the one. Maybe that one's dead?
It is dead.
Yep, sorry.
Yep,
Alright.
the one that
Is this one in the air or is it engaged with?
it's in the air above Miranda at least 30 feet.
Okay, so that's not gonna do it for me. All right. Man, don't have a lot of range stuff except my cruddy crossbow and that long sword. So I guess I'm gonna come over.
Which
Plus, I kind of want to give Miranda some cover because I don't want her losing concentration. So I'm gonna come directly below the Dragonelle, do a couple crossbow shots, and then bonus action longsword. So let me.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
All right, so hand crossbow first. That is a 15 to hit.
That misses.
All right,
Just
second
barely.
shot. Second shot.
Thanks for the gems, man.
Is a 14, which also misses.
Okay.
And we are going to do the longsword again. And that is a 22 to hit.
That does it.
And I will roll damage. That is an 8 on the die. So 8 plus 1, 9.
9 points of damage.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Was that just
Unfortunately,
one?
no. That's all I got.
This Dragonelle is going for Gertie. 2 Wrens to Gertie. A 21 is the first one.
Okay. That's a disadvantage.
Yes.
Okay.
21,
Yeah, that
22 was the roll. It's 15 slashing plus 1 fire.
Okay.
And the second one is just a 6. Flies up over here. This time sort of swoop down and up. Brolin, it is. Oh, I messed that up. But I'll keep. He was supposed to go to the officer. So the officer on the ground is pissed that that dragon didn't obey his orders. Because I forgot. Oh, Brolin, it's your turn.
I'm counter whistling in a different. I'm trying to
No.
tell him to do something else. No, don't do that. I think we are going to go after this guy here
Okay.
first, since we're doing some damage to that. I just want to make sure I was in the process of deducting some damage. Okay. Brawlin will go ahead and use a advantage, Squire of Solemnia, and we're gonna do a sharpshooter.
Okay.
No, there we go. 15 to hit.
Misses.
Okay.
Have the rerolls if you want.
We
That
do. I'm
is
gonna
true.
reroll with that advantage. Yeah. I'm gonna try to reroll with that advantage. Here we go. So that would be a 17.
17 hits.
Okay. So that will be this plus 10,
So 16.
15, and then I'm going to add some extra stuff. We're going to make this a favored foe. Give this extra damage here. So an additional 4.
Okay.
And the Solemnic Strike gives me this as well. Did it should come through? If not, I'll do it again. There we are. So an additional that.
Okay.
We're going to shoot again.
Okay.
And Brawl is feeling lucky. I think second one we're going to do sharpshooter as well. Without advantage. Here we go. Oh, no. Third shot is going to be normal at him.
Okay. Sorry, I lost my bolt. That missed, right?
That missed. Yeah.
Okay. What?
Gertie will move here 5, 10. And attempt to you know what? No, I won't do that. That's stupid. Gertie will dodge and get in this thing's face.
Good. Quentin. Oh, Brawlin. Anything else? Sorry.
Brawlin will move a bit. I'm gonna say Brawlin's gonna move down here a bit for now.
Okay.
There we go. That's it.
Quentin.
Quentin's gonna start kind of running over in this direction. He's just looking to the horizon to see if there's any sign of Kato. And he's probably muttering under his breath as he runs past Brawlin, not really directed towards Brawlin, but just, I don't see him. I don't see him.
What did you do?
I don't know. I don't know where he is. I don't. And I'm gonna cast a shatter over here to try to knock out these last two
Okay.
guys here.
Yep. Constitution. I'll do top bottom. First one is 11. Second one is a 12. They both miss. It's what, 7 points?
Just 7. Very bad roll.
Okay, they're both still up.
And in the bluebird somewhere. Help action to cast on this one here.
Okay. Anything else, Quentin?
I think that'll be it.
Miranda.
All right. Just gonna do a little light necromancy and cast a ray of sickness this way.
At who? At the Dragonlance?
Yeah, the dragon ale.
Oh, nice. Okay. So the Dragonelle saving throw Constitution. Got an 8, but I'm going to use one of my rerolls.
Boo. Yes.
That was 17. So it's 23. And half would be 11.
All right.
I'll use
And-
my reaction to absorb that from the shield.
Wait, you're going to absorb the Dragonlance?
Yes. 11 points was going to Miranda.
No,
The other way?
no, no, no. I was
Oh,
sending
oh.
11 points to the dragon.
Got it.
I'm the baddie.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Okay.
you kill.
I kill it. Hey, I was gonna Misty Step. You know what? I still will. I'm gonna Misty Step. Well, I don't have to anymore. I can just move. Never mind. I'll just move over into this corner here to get some more cover so the other one doesn't get me. And that's
I'm going to move you here just
Okay.
because that's a wall behind you.
okay. Yeah, I was trying to be like in the thing, but I couldn't tell
Yep.
her. Yep. Okay.
All right. Okay. So this guy, 1, 2, 3, 5, is running over, trying to whistle frantically again. And while he runs, he's going to fire his crossbow at Quentin. Quentin, that's a 19.
Sure, I'll take it.
Okay, that's 11 piercing plus 3 fire. And he's trying to get back on the one. And this guy is going to fire one at Cass. Cass, 16.
That would normally hit, but I'm gonna use my reaction to defensive duelist to add 3 to my AC.
Does it hit even with haste?
Oh, with haste it would be 16. And what did you have to hit?
16 was my roll.
So it would
Okay.
still hit, but I'm gonna.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just trying to save your reaction.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Cass, it's your turn. Oh, and I'm going to say he moves up towards you. So he's here.
Okay. I suspect I know the answer to this, but if I threw my long sword out, that is not counting. That's not going to give me any kind of giving him an extra enemy. That would give me.
No, in that case, no, because it's not sort of.
I suspected not, but hey, it never hurts to ask. All right, so I'm going to just come in with my short sword for a melee. That is a 15 to hit.
Misses. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm watching a raven and a dragon talk to each other. And I was highly distracted.
I will use the short sword again as my hasted attack. Man. It's a 13 hit, so that misses. And bonus action dancing longsword. It is. Are you kidding me? A 9 to hit, so I miss all 3 times.
Oh, Cass. You are.
Cass is
consistent.
so frazzled from the dragon fear still, feeling really out of sorts.
So this Dragonelle is able to get the officer on his back. That was his turn, though. Bralin. They are on the ground. They didn't elevate at all.
Okay. I think Brawlin is going to go after the officer.
On the back of the.
Yes. Yes.
Got it.
Brawlin will. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just shoot from there. I don't know. I think this might be. He might just. No, he'll do this. He'll get more damage out this way. Okay, here we go. Advantage. Sharpshooter.
This is the officer again, right?
Officer, yeah.
Yep, that hits.
That'd be that plus. Or so it'd be 9 plus 10. We're gonna make it a favored foe. We're gonna add an additional 1, and then we're gonna do the Solamnic. That, and then Gertie's gonna give me a little extra boost. With her reaction. That. So that would be the first attack.
That's 17.
17 plus that 10.
Oh, thanks.
So Brawlin would kind of step forward as he's like kind of feeling it, and he's gonna go ahead and attempt to shoot again.
Okay.
We will not do. We're just gonna try to get damage on this guy. So just regular attack. 17 to hit for the officer. Probably not.
Does it misses?
All right. We're gonna go ahead and attempt. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a reroll because it seems like we don't want this guy to do what he's gonna do. Reroll on that one. 19 to hit.
That hits.
12 points of damage to him.
All right. He is barely up.
All right, we're gonna shoot once more. 21.
Hits.
11 points of damage as he's just
he is
moving forward
down.
and shooting. Okay.
I will give you guys a status just so you know. Highly damaged, barely damaged.
Okay, sounds good. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yep. Hopefully we get a little bit more as Brawlin just looks at her and cut it off.
Good.
Gertie goes over and tries to attack this with a bite. There we go.
Quentin.
All right.
Damage for the bite. Sorry, I'm gonna be trying to attack
Oh, sorry.
with Gertie, but I don't think a 6 is gonna do anything. Okay, that's it.
Okay. Quentin. Sorry.
I'll cast a ray of frost at this one.
Misses.
Should I use a reroll? I'll use a reroll.
Yes.
Thank you, Darth Revan, for the reroll.
That hits.
Like this, maybe?
The ray of frost pierces through him and he collapses to the ground.
Who is hurt? Is anybody hurt badly?
Brawlin. Brawlin's hurt.
All right, I'm gonna cast a
He's
healing
not
word.
looking too good. He's standing strong, but he's not looking good.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I'll do it as a second level then. Choose. Okay, sorry. I need to do another D4.
Don't be sorry, that's even better.
11.
Thank you. Oh. Wow. Thanks, brother. Brody.
Got it, pal. Brother.
All right.
I guess I'll
Uh,
use the Raven to give Cass advantage on this one.
Okay.
Thanks.
Miranda.
All right. So I'll just do that again. Another little poison bolt there. So ray of sickness at this guy right there in front of me.
That misses.
Well, boo. Do we have any rerolls?
We have rerolls. We have one. Use it.
We have one. All right, I'm gonna use it then.
Hits. So 17 points of
Poison damage.
poison. Thanks. Thought they really make that difficult to read. Thank you. Still up.
Still up.
He was very barely damaged.
Okay. So he's just feeling
I
a
think it was
little
just
worse.
The
A little
long
worse.
sword at one point hit him or something.
Okay, I see. All right. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do then.
Okay.
Just that.
Cass.
So is he 30 feet in the air at the moment or on the ground?
On the ground because he just picked up that officer and he hadn't gotten a chance to launch yet.
All right, it's on. Gonna come up, swing the long sword. Or I'm sorry, short sword. A nat one, of course.
Did you roll with
Right.
advantage?
No, let me roll again. Good call. That's a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
Oops. For 5 piercing and 17 sneak attack.
So 22. Still up.
And I'll take my second short sword attack, hasted action. That is well, let me roll again just to make sure it's not going to crit. Otherwise, it's a 19 to hit or 23 to
hits.
hit. For 7 more piercing damage.
Still up.
The dancing longsword is the bonus action. Is an 11 to hit, which I guess
Misses.
misses.
It does manage to launch itself into the air. So, and it's going to swoop on one of you.
Do I get a attack of opportunity as it leaves?
No, it has a. I'll show you what it is. Let me. The Dragonlance doesn't provoke opportunity attacks when it flies out of an enemy's reach.
Gotcha.
Called flyby. Okay, so odds it goes to Brolin, evens it goes to Cass. Brolin, you are going to be the new recipient of 2 Wrens.
Oh,
First one, 20 out of natural 20.
all right. Give me that damage.
11 slashing for fire.
Just go to that. All right.
The second, does a 17 hit?
Oh, it should, but it doesn't.
Then I'm re-rolling.
Oh,
16.
I'm
Even
so fast.
worse. So,
Oh,
but this is so he launched himself up 30 feet and then descended back to 30 feet. So he's still down here. He's down at your level.
oh.
Brolin, it's your turn then.
Oh, you're
He's
so
not here.
close.
I guess Brolin is going to be going and using his short sword. Has he heard? Are they speaking Draconic, like at all?
No, the Dragonelles are not. I don't think the Dragonelles can even speak. I don't think they're well. They're not really dragons.
I know. Okay.
Oh yeah. So under the stat block, understands Common and Draconic, but does not speak.
Okay. Sounds good. They would understand what we're saying anyway. Okay, we're going to go ahead and attack with short sword.
Okay.
Here we go. Let me see if I have anything else before I do that. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and he'll
So,
cast. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You could shoot with your bow and advantage, just to normal out that roll. I mean, I'm just in terms of things that you do well, right?
Right. Oh, can I? I didn't know that I could do it at that range. Okay.
You can't.
All right.
I mean, you'd get disadvantage normally, but you could use that Solamnic advantage thing
Okay. I see.
to balance it out.
I guess we'll do the first one then at that. That's the last and final one.
Yeah, just
We'll go ahead and do that one first. Here we go. A regular. So that would be
28.
23 to hit. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was meaning to use. I was going to
Sharpshooter.
use sharp. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that hits. It also kills him. He had very little.
Okay, so 21 points.
He is dead, and you still hear the sounds of screams and battles outside, but inside this little area, everything is quiet. So it is 8:34. So we'll switch quickly over to Cato, and then we'll take a break. Cato, the last thing you saw was as you stood your ground against this black dragon, suddenly everything poofed out of existence. And everything became very dark around you, incredibly dark. Like there was just no sensation. There was a feeling of cold, maybe a little bit clammy around you. And as your eyes start to adjust, you can see all around you what appear to be pillars of earth or pillars of something. But the smell in your nose is very earthy. Pushing up from the ground below you, up as far as the eyes can see. And you can just barely make the shape of them in the darkness. You can barely make the shadows of them as they stretch up into the heavens above you. The only reason they even have shadows is very far above you. You can see the tiniest, almost like a single star, a tiny piece of light directly above you, but it seems like it's hundreds or thousands of miles away from you, like a star. And as your eyes adjust around you, you see 4 shorter, maybe like pillars, cut off around you. And on each pillar is an object. And so we're going to take our break there. And we are going to come back in about 5-10 minutes. We'll just take a bio break and whatnot. And we will begin to explore Cato's newfound world. So thank you guys for sticking with us. We appreciate you. And we will be right back, and we'll see what sort of possible shenanigans the 5th member of our party gets into. Hi, thanks for sticking with us. We are 20 sides for every story. If you haven't been paying attention yet, now's the time to pay attention. No, just kidding. So Kato, you are in a place, a very dark place, with what seems to be earthen pillars, or something reaching up towards the sky and possibly high around you. And immediately in your vicinity, you see four small tables, or seem to be made of the same material that those pillars are made of. But on the four pillars, on the four columns, or whatever you want to call them, the stubs, you do notice that there are things on top of it.
Well, I believe my initial reaction would be more or less check myself, make sure I'm not dead, for starters, because
Yeah, you.
I got hit pretty hard. I like checked my head. There's a little bit blood come up. I got whacked by a tail.
You seem to be in exactly the same condition you were a second ago, just in a different place.
I checked to make sure my holy symbol is still with me.
Your holy symbol is still with you.
And then I guess my last initial reaction, seeing absolutely no one around, is I would try to telepathically communicate with my horse.
No luck.
Nothing.
No. The horse is on a party channel at the moment, talking with some other animals. So
We
it
called
doesn't
it
have
an
time to
actor.
do. Doesn't have time to talk to you. No.
Oh, what even happened?
Um, a booming voice, a familiar voice, but much louder than you've ever heard it before, rings out, just sort of almost cracking your skull from the inside. And you just hear, choose. And you feel your head forced towards the tables in front of you.
You begin to approach it.
So the first one that you notice is probably a little bit. There's a sack, and something is um, is moving within the sack. To the left of that table, you see a book which seems to be made of some old flaky material. Like think of it in cardinal directions, the four tables. Not that this matters, but just to, so north was the sack with something moving in it. Left is the book that's flaking. East is a decaying set of robes that you see maggots in, and behind you is a broken pendant of some kind. Like it seems to have been shattered. And the command comes out again in your head. This time, just crushing, like almost drives you to your knees.
Sorry, just doing a little bit of writing down.
It's okay. Right away.
He would begin to approach the one with the shattered pendant.
Okay. And so yeah, it's a pendant with maybe what appeared to be maybe at one point one of the shinier metals. I don't know what a good way. Like it's not necessarily bronze, but it looks like at one point it was a metal like bronze that had that gleam. But you can see that the sort of a green rot has spread across the bronze, making the whole spread across the metal, making the whole thing brittle and shattered into pieces. The command. Go ahead.
I would pick it up and begin to inspect it.
Okay, so it's not. It's kind of hard to pick up because it's in pieces. But the one sort of remaining piece is going to be the biggest piece of it is the chain that went around it. And as you pick it up, you feel pieces of it falling apart, and you can see in your hand the what is it called when metal
Corrode?
corrode, the corrosion. That's what I was looking for. You can see feel the corrosion, like it makes this what would be smooth metal bumpy and sort of harsh to the touch. But the rest of the actual the pendant is in shattered pieces.
I choose this.
The you see the pendant, the corrosion starts to spread to the point where, like, link by link of the chain that you have in your hand, it just starts to go into a fine dust and start to float in the air around you. Um, and as it creeps up the pendant, you you see some of the corrosion start to spread on your hand. It touches your armor. You start to see it creep up your armor. Um, and as you're watching in horror, as this thing, your armor starts to chip away in the near the gauntlets, and then moving up further up the sleeves. And you look in horror when suddenly your eyes are just destroyed by bright daylight and the sounds of screaming. And you see around you, you're standing exactly where you were a few seconds ago. No dragon in front of you, but you do see the dragon in the distance. And you see just bodies all around you. Some of your own people. You see some of the Draconians in the dragon army who had been fighting before the dragon showed up. So basically, yeah, it's like you are back maybe half a minute later.
I would let out a whistle, trying to call my horse.
Okay. Make me an animal handling check real quick. Okay.
Animal handling. Do-do-do.
You clicked it, right?
No, that was
Oh,
me
sorry.
testing. 20.
Okay. So you see your horse. It's maybe like, I don't know, let's say it's in the distance. It's maybe 3 rounds away. You're in no immediate danger. I should say that. There's nothing immediate around you that you're worried about.
I guess while I have a few moments to wait for my horse to arrive, I'll see if there's anyone even breathing at all.
Okay. Make me a quick, let's say, perception. All right. So you do see a couple people around you, people who are in various states of, some of whom are attempting to crawl away, still affected by the dragon fear. But you do see the crumpled form of Cudgel about 80 feet away from you in the ground.
I'd probably immediately go to her.
Okay. So you run over to Cudgel, unconscious.
He would take a deep breath to kind of recompose himself. He's still pretty high on that adrenaline right now. And just whoever is within 30 feet of me, I'm going to just slam my halberd into the ground and cast Turn the Tide, which will heal. And I'm specifically choosing people in our regalia
Okay.
that heal up a little bit.
Right.
Just to
Okay.
rouse them.
So you said 30 feet radius?
I'm just double checking. I haven't used this in so long.
Yep. So if he's taken. I didn't expect this is the way she's going off the bed, but. Sophie, what are you doing?
It didn't say which one. 1 second. Let's do a little better job at this.
Oh yeah, it should say somewhere else. It's
But in that specific radius around me, I'll try to rouse
Okay.
people up. It's like 1d6 plus a number.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say that you're able to revive, let's say we'll just say six people around you. Cudgel is not one of them. Cudgel appears to be dead.
I think he wouldn't even.
I'm sorry. I could just say Cudgel is dead. I don't need, there's no trick here. Cudgel's dead.
He would probably not do anything until the horse arrives. Just stare.
Okay. We'll say like a round or so because you had walked over there and stuff. So one more round, the horse was there. So meanwhile, that combat was about 10 rounds, right? And the aftermath and them running away, the combat about a full minute. So you came back 4 rounds into that. So they're in combat. You wouldn't know that, but they're in combat at the moment. So this is sort of simultaneous to what happened for the first half of our session tonight.
I saw the commander flee westward. It's probably best you go that way. And I'm gonna pick up Cudgel and throw her on the back of my horse and start
Okay.
running it off.
Okay. All right. Okay, so you guys all head out in that direction. And I think what we'll do is I think the order of events in terms of the dragon will get bored, right? The dragon, you no longer are interesting for it. Its commander is not here. So it's not being ordered to do anything. It was solely for sport that he was hunting you. So the dragon gets bored and flies away. That's one thing that happens with the rest of the day. Second thing is there's still members of the dragon army, though, that need to be dispatched with, right? And so that is, but you still have members of the army. And then the third thing is the regrouping of the army. So I'm going to say that the way the night you're going to get a long rest, and the 4 of you who are in the combat are still separated from Cato, but Cato, you have found Dareth, who is alive. So basically, the camp is still splintered in groups. And I don't think I need to role play that as you go searching around. The 4 of you have found a significant number of troops, we'll say 40, 50. And so you are camping together. And then Dareth with Cato and another large group of the troops. For that evening, is there anything the 2 groups are trying to accomplish specifically? Besides resting.
I mean, I think we concerned about what happened to Kato and trying to figure out what we need to do about that.
We need to talk about what you did, Quentin.
I probably send the bluebird around to do some surveillance because I know that my spell would have only lasted a
Yep.
minute, so presumably.
I'll give you one slightly easier thing. The two parties are split across the far gap.
Oh,
Right. Dareth has
Alright.
one. You
and
have
I
one.
have one. Yeah. So yeah, we'll try the far gap, see if we can reach out.
Yeah. And so very quickly you're aware of basically who is accounted for, right? And so you know Kato is back. Although I'm not sure, no one really saw what happened besides Quentin banishing him away. Right. So it was a battlefield, so it was pretty hectic. No one saw him reappear. Or if they did, they were busier with other things. And then I'm not sure, I'm guessing that Kato wouldn't talk much more, but I'll let Kato decide what he's going to tell. Or if he's going to yell at Quentin across the far gap.
He would not even be at the far gap. Once he hears that he's conversing with Dareth, he wouldn't say anything until they're done.
Okay. So you know your party's okay. You know roughly where everyone is. That hasn't been accounted for. And so the plan, according to Dareth, is that the next morning you will all meet a few miles to the north at a place, sort of a rock outcropping that you can all see. So there is a plan for the night. Unless people really want to do something else. That is Dareth's recommendation, is that we heal the people, you shelter in place, and the next morning is time to set out to a new area to find a place that you all can camp and try to regroup and search for any maybe last survivors.
That's good.
Yep, Cass is on board.
Okay.
I have a question before we get too far along.
Mhm.
I know last week we had a giant oval shaped sphere. That we assume might have been an egg.
Oh yes.
Did we drop that or did we keep that?
No one put it on a wagon or a horse, I remember.
Okay.
Yeah, the army was gonna sort of be responsible for it once we left that camp, but we didn't get the chance.
The last thing I wrote was Brawlin' it takes the egg, do not break. That was the last
Okay.
thing I wrote about that.
Yeah, because it couldn't like fit in a saddlebag. It was too big, so it was kind of like, well, we'll have to leave this with the army.
So I will say for now it's unaccounted for, but that doesn't mean necessarily it's been destroyed. Just no one has yet put their eyes on it again.
Okay. All right, sorry about that. I just wanted to.
No, it's good. Thank you for reminding me, because it's also, I just have to look at who was most interested in that. Yeah. What are you guys going to do that night? I'll start with the group of four.
Cass is even more quiet than usual and really just keeping to themselves, not at all comfortable with how things went down, kind of shell shocked.
Okay.
So Miranda, I think, would probably be looking around trying to find Quentin to talk to him. And if she can't, then just kind of like going to wherever she's gonna camp for the night and being uneasy. So
Okay.
I think Oh, sorry.
No, please.
Alex is back. I don't know if he was going to add something.
No, I don't know. Quentin's probably just by himself, probably laid out his bedroll or whatever. He's just content that there's confirmation that Kato's back.
I think Brawlin would find Cass and just start asking, just thinking out loud, asking all the questions like, how could this happen? Would it happen? Why? Do you know if, did you hear anything? Did you see anything? Why did it happen to this group? Was everyone okay? How many people did you see dead? Like he would just start kind of bombarding them with just questions as he's kind of frantically worried about what happened.
To which Cass would just shake their head, kind of absently, and eventually just kind of tune him out.
He'd keep on going.
All right. Kato, what are you up to? Dareth is, I mean, can be engaged, but without being engaged, he's sort of dealing with the troops and sort of communicating back and forth. He probably, Miranda, he probably asks that the far gap be passed to some of his officers there, just so he can pass on some orders for the day and how they're supposed to triage and whatnot. But he's certainly accessible, Kato, but he wouldn't necessarily come find you unless you sort of caught his attention.
I definitely would try to get his attention.
Okay. And I guess I would ask how you broached Cutchell's death with him, because I assume you would have brought that up quickly when you found him.
I would. I guess for the immediate sake of probably when I would arrive at the camp, I would probably lay her down amongst probably the others who did not make it, put my bedroll over her just to cover. And then later in the night, I would approach Darrett and say,
So Darrett, you see Darrett, eyes completely sunken. It doesn't look like he slept for, I mean, even though it's been a short period of time, it looks like he is wearing the weariness of multiple days of no sleep. And he lets out a weak smile when he sees you. And he says, oh, this was probably my hardest day yet. How are you?
doing well considering the circumstances.
Yeah. I mean, the good news is of the 300 some troops, we've managed to account for 120 of them. There's still probably some out there, and hopefully tomorrow morning we'll be able to find some more. I'll send the scouts out once people have had a chance to regroup.
If you'd like, I'm still able. I can still go out tonight if you'd like.
To search, I think it's best if we stay here. I appreciate that, but I think it's best if we put in basic defenses in case we've hidden ourselves a little bit, but we do have to guard for the chance that perhaps some of them come across us. And I think you're worth 10 or 20 of these soldiers. So I would appreciate it if you waited till at least morning.
That is your command.
Thank you. I mean, I'm not really your boss, but it's just
Enough with that, Darrett.
it's I mean, it's just it would make me feel better if, we had people like you here in camp just for tonight.
Well, I'm so glad you made it out.
I didn't think I was going to. Yeah, I watched that dragon pick off horses around me and carts and just toss them like, I don't know how we fight that thing. I don't know how anyone's supposed to fight them.
Well, I tried. I gave it my best shots, and then it was, well, stripped from me.
I what do you mean?
I hit him. I attacked him.
But then what do you mean stripped from you? Derek wouldn't have seen.
I was sent somewhere else.
Like, how? He's confused.
Um, well, and then for the sake of expediency, he would state that even though he kept his wits about him, but he did hear some sort of magical incantation coming from behind that sort of sounded like Quinton.
Uh-huh.
I swear, I think I could have stopped. I could have stopped it. You know.
I appreciate you saying that, friend, but I don't think. I mean, you might have heard it, but by the time it left, it wasn't damaged at all. It just was. I mean, it might have had a scratch or two, but it took down so many.
I feel like I could have done something.
I mean, maybe, but I don't think. I think you would have been dead too if Quentin hadn't done whatever he did.
But if it counts for saving more lives, then that was totally acceptable.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what he did, but I mean, I don't think Quentin would have done something that was like selfish. He was probably trying to help you.
Honestly, I don't even know with them anymore.
He is a puzzler. That one. Well, I personally, I think you should get some sleep. You've dealt with a lot, fighting a dragon and then going someplace and being the victim of Quentin's spell.
If that's what you think is best, I'll leave you to it. Okay, so save yourself.
I'm going to try.
Glad to see you're okay.
You too. Thank you, friend. Was there a conversation going on at the other camp? Was that what they?
Yeah, well, if Miranda was looking for Quentin, she would be able to find him. He's not really, he's just by himself, but he's not trying to make himself scarce.
All right. So I'll come over to him and just pass. Well, first say, I'm glad that we took care of that. It got a little scary there for a minute.
Oh, the scary part hasn't happened yet. I mean, the scariest part. It was pretty scary, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get punched again.
Scarier than what just happened.
Well, I guess it's scary in a different way.
Mm.
Kato, I think, is I mean, maybe he's not like a real knight to the Solamnia folks, but I mean, he's a knightly person. I mean, he's so much so he's got my friend following around him, calling himself a squire. So, I'm pretty sure that he's going to feel that I besmirched his honor or I robbed him.
Well, maybe, might, but I mean, why did you do it? Why did you?
Because he's one of us. I mean, how long would he have lasted, you know? He was trying to protect everyone, but would he really have saved any lives? I don't know.
Don't either, but I mean, I think he wanted to do all he could do, you know?
Well,
I mean, I don't think you were wrong to stop him, but it might change the relationship. So you just have to be ready for that. But sometimes, you know, you live with the knowledge that you did what you had to do to save him, and if that means he's not, I guess, your friend anymore.
but
That's just
don't you
how-
think that's how, like, these towers, right? Like, all these wizards, they use their magic, they judge, I guess, that they know better than everyone else, and they make decisions that affect other people, and they don't seem to really consult with anyone.
Yeah.
It's just a lot. I got a lot in the old brain box rattling around, and I guess I can live with it, but
I mean, look, he's alive, we're alive, so we can deal with everything else tomorrow, right?
I suppose, yes. Tomorrow, well,
Tomorrow. And we'll deal with whatever hard decisions we have to make tomorrow.
and then Quentin just kind of like goes in, almost like, kind of like infantile a bit, but like goes in for a hug from Miranda. And there's like kind of like a little bit of like a whimper or a sniffle. And then he just kind of, he doesn't really want to dwell on that after it happens. You can just see like the shame on his face. But he like kind of just goes over and kind of get ready for bed.
I'll leave him to himself so he's doesn't feel embarrassed.
Okay. Oh, weird. My numbering of your nights disappeared on this map. You right? Oh no, they're just really dark. Sorry. Okay. All right. So you guys can all take a long rest. The night passes uneventfully. Though occasionally you do hear the sound of wings flying above you, though it doesn't amount to anything, but it does put everyone on high alert. Morning, you all meet up here, which is just a little bit north of where you were, and it's a plateau with a stone outcropping above it. So you have a little bit of a good view of the lower plains below you. But it also is big enough and rocky enough that you can set up camp within the sort of stone structures, and it's as safe as any place is going to be up here for the large group of you. As I said, there's about 120, 130 of you that are left. Oh, sorry, 120, 130 of the army that is left that is known is possible. There are, let's say, 150. Overnight, some people found either one of the camps. And so, yeah. What would Darrett, when he sees you, is incredibly excited to see all of you from the other camp. Hugs you extra long, almost awkwardly long for each of you when he sees you. And you share what went on. What would yeah. And there's a whole conversation. Darrett brings you in, some of the commanders, or actually, before we even do that, the group of you, in the process of seeing Darrett, see off in the distance. I'm not going to say pouty, maybe sullen. Cato in sort of in the camp, a little bit off. What would you like to do?
Oh. It's the Squad Kato. Hi. You okay? Oh, how you doing?
And he would come up and try to give you a hug.
You look okay. What? Quinn's an asshole. I mean, he's okay, but are you okay? You're fine, right? Let me see. Oh,
Does he look different?
Does he look different?
Yes.
Probably the real weird thing. I mean, no, not. I mean, I don't know. Do you look? Would you look different, Cato? Are you?
I mean, he probably has like a cut or a bandaged wound on his head from getting smacked in the face by a dragon.
But I didn't really mention this to Cato either. But I'll mention it now just because it's so we don't have to have the conversation twice. You do notice that one of Cato's gauntlets seems to have metal flaked away, and the sleeves of the armor have seem to be suffering some sort of rust or corrosion.
oh,
Like almost like it got hit by acid or something.
Uh-huh.
Almost looks like that.
oh. Well, that was a close call you got right there.
But overall, you look. He's gonna like spit and rub his thumb on your forehead.
You're okay, though. You're looking okay, right?
Then he tries to fix your armor and polish it. Kind of spit shines it, polishes up.
I'm doing this right, correct? Yes.
Will you stop?
If you command it.
I'm not your commander.
No, I know. That's fine. I'm
Stop.
happy you're okay.
And stop acting like I am.
Well, if you want me to, sure. It'd be my honor, correct?
The most audible scoff you've ever heard from Cato as you say that.
Oh. Okay. Well, don't be mad at me, okay? He's over there.
He kind of like pouts and just stands and steps aside and points over at Quentin.
Quentin just kind of waves. And he's going to approach. And he's just going to be like... Sup. Hey, oh shit. Your armor is a little ruined there. Can I got something for that.
I think you helped quite enough.
But where'd you go? Tell me all about, like, where you went. I'm eccentric. I'm asking you about where you went, and that's the focus of our conversation right now.
Why?
Because I'm very uncomfortable right now.
No. Why did you do it?
So you wouldn't die?
And what gives you the right to think that's your decision to make?
Well, you know what? I don't know. But I did it and I stick by it. And you may be a little bit mad with me, and that's fine, but you're alive and that's what's important.
He'll like stand up from his seated position and just kind of adjust himself.
No. Kato, I'm sorry. I guess it wasn't. I don't really know what's right or wrong. But yeah, maybe it wasn't my decision to make, but I didn't have time to consult you, and I don't know what to say. I guess I'd just say I'm sorry.
I have been thinking of all sorts of things I could say in this exact circumstance. Some of them which involve violence, which I'd rather avoid.
Oh gosh. He's like closes his eyes and just kind of like is almost like putting his face out there.
But I'm not going to do that.
Oh, good.
This entire trip, this entire month endeavors of fighting off this army, I've come to realize that most decisions I've made weren't my own to make at this point. And the first real decision I made was this, and I would gesture to his symbol. That was the first time I truly felt I had made any sort of decision for myself. And every moment I use it, everyone turns against me. People I've helped, if you guys don't even appreciate it half the time. I mean, he like gestures towards Brolin. I think you're scared to death of me.
Well, well, only if you're mad at me, but otherwise, no.
Don't take
I,
me for a fool.
well, I like you. I think Quentin was right. He was just trying to save you. I didn't want you to die.
Who's to say I would have? I don't even know it myself, because that decision was taken from me. Decision I was going to make.
Do you want to die?
If that's
I,
what fate has decided for me, then so be it. If it was to defend my comrades, I'd happily do it again. Once again, you robbed me of that choice.
Well, you picked up that holy symbol and you feel that that was the right choice. I don't necessarily think it's a bad choice. I guess there's a lot of questions about that god, but I
Disregard the God part of it. Think about me as a person instead
well,
of a
that's what I was
vessel
going to
at that
say.
point.
Is that I trust you, and I trust your judgment.
But not when it could matter.
Well, like I said, I'm sorry about that. Um, and he's just like looking at Brawlin.
Group hug.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Oh, oh, I really. Well, I'm sorry too for myself and Quentin, and I hope you forgive us. We really do appreciate you. And I can't tell. Uh, you're okay, right? Where did you get? Wait, did you? What is the amulet? What? Huh? Where did you go?
That is my secret to keep.
Okay.
Wait, can I ask a quick question? The amulet you're talking about was your original amulet, right?
Holy symbol, yes. My holy
Not
symbol.
not
one I
the
picked.
you,
Not what
you
it
don't.
was.
Yeah,
Okay.
just to
All
be
right, then
clear,
we don't know.
you don't have the whatever happened
this-
before.
The
The
session
only thing
01.
yep. The only thing that remains of that is what happened to your armor.
Oh.
Just to clarify that.
Okay. Well, either then I backtrack, but I'd still ask, where'd you go?
We have a job to finish. Let's go. And then he picks up his halberd and walks away.
Oh, gosh.
You're not mad at me right now, are you?
Me?
You.
No. Did you hear me defending you? I was saying I was sorry for you.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I'm a bit scared. I wasn't really scared before.
You are scared of him.
Oh, hell yeah. Did you see that? I didn't realize how scared I was of him until right now.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
I think he just wait for Kato to walk a few paces, and then he'd maybe like say, "Okay, I guess maybe we had, I don't know. I think once Miranda's around, he might come around. I hope. I don't know."
Yeah. That it couldn't hurt.
Right?
Well, if maybe he's trying to fix his armor at some point. Maybe that'll help.
I don't think.
You don't think so? That won't help, really.
I don't think he's upset at that. So I think he's upset. We don't. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know if I'd even be upset with you. You kind of. I don't know. He's got a lot of things going on right now in his head. He's what I like to call complex. You ever heard of that word?
Yes.
Okay.
It's one of the ones I know.
Yeah. All right. Good. Well, that's what I'm thinking right now. It's complex. It's like a weave. It's like a web, but like there's multiple spiders doing the web at the same time, and they're intermixing with
Are
each
we
other.
flies or what? How do we fit into this metaphor?
We might have, yeah. Right now, I think we're flies.
Kato is the web or the spider?
He might, maybe.
I don't get it.
I think maybe. Wait, I think Kato might be like a brother of the spider who made the web. Well, he certainly isn't the one that made it, but
This
he
is
might
not
be trapped
helping.
too.
This is not helping.
I'm sorry.
Let's go get something to eat. That'll.
Oh, I actually am hungry. That sounds good.
So while all this was happening, Miranda would have watched for just a second and see it going very poorly, and then went to go find Dareth to have a little chat about our party dynamics at the moment.
Hi, Miranda. What do you
Hi.
need?
Oh, just to talk for a minute.
What's up?
So, how did Kato seem when he was here last night?
I mean, we just talked for a second. He seemed really tired and really worn out. I don't know. We all were.
Okay. They seem a little angry, perhaps?
I don't. I mean, I don't think he was mad. I think he was just disappointed.
So, I know you have a lot on your plate, and I don't want to overburden you. But I think it's important that you know that, well, I'm not sure Kato is going to want to be with us for very much longer.
Like with the army or with the party?
Uh,
Like you guys or us? He seemed like
I think us particular. I don't think he really is like angry towards anyone else in the army, but us in particular, he might have trouble working with us. Just
um okay. So I guess when I talked to him last night, that's not. I mean, maybe he wasn't telling me things, but that doesn't seem like what I heard. He seemed
um,
like he was trying to do his best, and
I think
we
he
like all of us were, and we I don't know.
well, he doesn't think we trust him.
Well, do you trust him?
Yes.
Oh,
I I think there have been concerns. Um
right, I get it.
um
Well, I mean, he. I mean, everything I'm hearing, he stood up to a dragon, like he was willing to die. I don't know. I
he
mean,
was
I
he was
I
willing
think
to die.
I think
But
that's a pretty stupid thing to do, but I don't know.
yeah,
Seems
see
pretty
that's
trustworthy.
well, I mean that was kind of the thing. He stood up to the dragon, but I mean, had Quentin not done what he did, he was sure to die. Um
Right, but I mean, like in in our culture, and by our I mean the culture of the knights, that's sort of what you're signing up for, right? I know it
but
hasn't happened in a long time.
of course. But I mean, usually to some benefit, right? Like we were all fleeing and running away, and he was there fighting a dragon on his own.
Yeah, can either of us say if him doing that did that save 5 or 6 or 7 more lives just because he distracted the dragon for that moment?
Yeah, of course. It could have for sure saved someone. I'm just saying I think
No,
that
I
it's complicated, right? It's complicated, and he's angry that we've denied him the valor of a good death.
well, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's always going to have a good death. I mean, is there anything that can stop him from having a proper death? uh,
Delayed it. That's what we should
I
tell
mean,
him. It was just
um,
delayed.
um, but I mean, um, uh, uh, but I do think, I mean, he lives by a different code than you all, and he does believe what he was doing was important and it was his duty. And I maybe I would just say that maybe that's something you all should consider. And I don't mean to say you did anything wrong. I think it's just the life of a knight's very hard, and he he didn't think because he's been trained to think like a knight, and he knows what knights do in difficult situations. And if I'm not saying what Quentin did was wrong by any means, I think Quentin was being altruistic and trying to help his friend. And I don't think Cato should be necessarily mad about it, because Cato should be able to understand that someone was trying to help. On the other hand, yeah, it's maybe Cato thinks of this as that by not distracting that dragon just a little bit longer, more people died, or it was able to do something and spread more evil. I don't. I mean, we had a very short talk about it, but I can tell you what like it's the culture. Even when I was learning from Beckland, it was very much like that. It was very how the actions I do, I can't stray from actions that would cause people harm or to die, or I was taught that I have to have that duty, and I think Kano very much exemplifies that, at least with his actions. Maybe there was a better way to do it, absolutely, but I don't think, from a knight's point of view, he did something horrendous or terrible.
Oh, of course not. He acted very honorably. It just
But I think
I
he
guess
think
I think
I
our
think
party is more practical minded than honorably minded sometimes. And I think that
right. And I think maybe he understands that as you don't support him.
well, we'll take that. I'll take that in mind and try to support him better. But just be aware, there might come a time when his goals and his choices more align with you and with the army and less with us.
Okay. But I'm pretty sure you also need him.
Oh, we do need him, very
Yeah.
much. I'm just telling you, he doesn't want to look. He can't look at Quentin, and he is, you know, irritated with all of us, and just he wants nothing to do with us. Honestly,
Should I send the two of them on a mission together?
yes, absolutely. That is
Like, like
that is
something,
definitely what you should do.
something that helps them rekindle their friendship?
Yeah, make them rely on each other a little bit. Yes, I think that might be good. I think that they need to see the value that each other brings to the situation.
If only we weren't about to have a break in this game. Someone else could run that side mission. So, uh, I think Derek does sort of. he- This is probably. I'll be honest. Like, this is probably the wisest. Derek's not stupid, and you've never thought of him as stupid, a little Pollyanna-ish, maybe. But I think you come away from this conversation with a little bit of significant respect for him. Like, it's clear he's it's clear he's absorbing like a sponge his leadership responsibility. And you do get this idea that, wait, like, not necessarily that he convinced you. I'm not you make that choice for yourself, but really, like, he is actually oh, a new subscriber. Thank you, DeBeardy, for joining us. And so you get the idea that he is sort of like trying to balance the pros and cons, and also you definitely get the idea that he would be a little heartbroken if the party got broken up, right? Like that's his intent. Also is like, it was sort of more practical advice for you, not this sort of like, well, the Knights of Solemnia say this. He's really trying to say, like, maybe this is an angle you can come at it with to try to bring him back into the fold. So yeah, he's willing to help any way he can, whether that's a buddy quest or not.
It's a good plan. I don't know. Maybe we just need to find a way to show him we support him, his heroic deeds, and support him.
I mean,
Anyone to kill around here? Anyone at risk of dying?
I mean, I guess you could pretend to be kidnapped and then have him. I don't know.
Real
I mean, there's a lot of-
power. Is there anyone who is seriously, like, close to death's door that he could give him another chance at healing someone?
Can I ask, was Cato involved in healing that night? I assume he was.
He would have done the best he could with whatever he had left.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, so Derek would say something like, "Yeah, like he's doing. I mean, he's helping around the camp. He was trying to help, and he even wanted to go out that night and find more people, who, and so he. I mean, I don't think he thinks he's doing a bad job. I think he just questions what you all think about him."
No, I know. It can't be forced. You would see through it. All right. Well, this was a good talk. I'm glad that you understand the situation, and
Well,
we'll
thank
do
you.
our best.
I'm glad you guys are worried about it, because the worst thing would be if you weren't paying attention, or you just, didn't really care. So it's nice to hear that you care.
Of course. Of course. All right.
All right.
Check and see how they're doing now. I mean, hopefully no one's been punched while I'm gone.
Um, Cass, are you up to anything?
When they think no one is looking, Cass goes to where Cudgel was laid to rest. He needs
Uh-huh.
a mass grave, and will bury 2 steel pieces.
Okay.
And then just walk away.
It's it's Karen's. So sort of finding an indentation in the earth, and then putting the body in, and then putting stones on top. So, and so there's, yeah. Anyone else doing something? The day in general is devoted to, it's sort of a day of regrouping, but it's also a day of trying to like run scouting parties out to see if you can find anyone, whether dead or alive, but just try to find the survivors, basically, and then also account for people who did not survive. So they are staying in place. You can choose to participate in that, or the group of you, if you want, choose to. You have half a day to continue on towards something else.
For what it's worth, Cass is eager to leave this place where a black dragon recently visited.
So you are a little bit off of it, but yes, I understand what you mean. But geographically, you have regrouped somewhere else other than the place.
Would anyone mention the dragon egg?
Oh, sorry.
The
I
big egg.
should.
Mystery egg.
It was found.
Okay.
It was, yeah. So it was found. It was, the cart was found. The horses were gone. But in the scout, well, we could say that happens this day, like when the scouts are going out. So, it is brought back to the camp by the end of the day. And I think if you know if you know that you're staying in camp for the day or helping out, then they ask to borrow the far gab so they can do a little bit more sort of with the scouting missions. So they have more of them available. And so, yeah. Anything particular you guys want to do? Or do you guys want to pull up stakes and go?
Time to carry on the mission.
Yeah.
And Darren is not at all like bothered with you to do that. Like he understands why you're scouting ahead for them. So you have a couple places you can go, right? And I'm just gonna recount these for you. Let me find my. So J, which you are suspiciously close to. J is the place that Delamar wanted. He knew of magic there.
Hmm.
And he wanted you to meet him there. I guess Delamar would have been in an attack too, so because he traveled with you, right? I can look that up, but he wasn't going to meet you. He was traveling with you. So Delamar, you can go to J. K, of course, is where you believe the City of Lost Names is. G, you've been to. I, you've been to, and the only other one that we really have is the one that's way down south. So H, you never went to. That's where the right. Did you go
The
to H?
Dragonlance are right.
Yeah. Did
We have
you
not been
travel there? Okay, that's where the Dragonlance get fed, and then
Mhm.
F. It was something there was something in F too. That
I think it was like a dwarven group or colony or something.
yes.
Trading post, something like that.
Yep.
DM, according to my notes, in session 19, we unanimously decided to head west to High Hunt instead of accompanying Dalamar north to the mysterious magical thing.
Okay.
So I guess I don't know if he went north without us or if he.
He would have. Yes, he would have intentionally. But so he'll meet you. Thank you for. I
think-
wondered why I didn't have him involved in things.
I think that was under the impression of we're definitely going to get there before him because we're a little bit faster, so we have a little time to explore
Yeah,
other
okay.
places.
If we're right there, I mean, I would maybe say let's just go.
Okay.
Because I think Brawlin would just maybe just say out of they have this if they have dragons on their side, we could anything magical or not would help. That's what I think Brawlin's argument would be.
yes, hard agree.
So I think so you guys travel there by the end of the day. Kato, are you traveling with them or are you doing something else?
I have a duty to be in this group.
Okay. So yeah, so you head out from camp. It's a little tense, might be the best word to describe the situation amongst the group of you. But I think by day's end, or where you travel for, yeah. So by day's end, you're able to make it, the group of you, reunited to towards the coast. And as you get closer to the coast, this is, I think, for you. Oh, I guess at the spire, you were near the coast too. But so the first thing you feel is the cool air of the sea. But very quickly, a faint mist starts to pick up as you move closer towards this location. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at that for this session. I think you, with your arrival there, uneventful for arrival, just because it's going to go into some Dalamar role play. It's going to go into some other stuff. So we will call it if everyone's okay with that, unless someone wants to do something along the journey. We are 20 sides to every story. Thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. If you haven't had a chance, please join our Discord. I know most of you in the audience I've seen over on the channel, but if you're watching this through YouTube or catching a replay, please check out our Discord, which is active most times a day. And we get into all sorts of things. I think likely will be back next week, if that's okay with everyone. It might be a short adventure or shorter as we sort of my guess is if we finish this cave up, you might be willing to go to the City of Lost Names, which might, and so we might conclude this chapter in doing that. We do have a little bit of a break coming up because I have to move to Germany, and so that seems like a good place to. The end of a chapter seems like a good place to do that. So, are you guys all around next Wednesday?
I am.
Yes.
Okay.
I am.
Should
Okay,
be good.
so we'll pick that up for next Wednesday, and then yeah. Okay, so thanks for joining us. We will see you next Wednesday. Like I said, it will be probably this. It will be the same time, but it might be a little bit shorter, just because I don't know how much stuff I have to fill. If it's two short things, but so thanks for joining us, and we will talk to you guys soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.